Okay, so I forgot to film an intro again. So this is me after the fact. The last end credit is actually the same day as today. So just so you know, so you have a bit of behind the scenes information. All of the projects have already been created, but you don't know about that yet. I'm in the middle of editing and I just realized there's nothing that I have filmed to say hello. So hello, I hope you've been doing well. I hope you've had a good time. I don't really know what to say. So welcome to another rendition of Busting My Yarn Stash. I have a few projects in mind that at this point I've already made, but we're gonna go back in time a bit, go and have a look at what I've done. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you are having fun, and that's it. So my past self will take over from here, and enjoy. Hello, it's 11 p.m. so I should be in bed sleeping right now, but I am not. Currently, I am leaning my phone on my bed. The angle and positioning is a tiny bit strange because I do not have my tripod right now. CJ is using it at the moment, so I'm just here. As for the first project in this video, I just can't wait until tomorrow because I want to start it right now. And in one of my last videos, was it my last one or was it the one before that? I'm not sure. I dyed a portion of my yarn that I knew I had no use for and that I already kind of used a bit of, and it was just kind of left over lying around and I just had no clue what to do with it. And I dyed 3 balls. I believe it's 3. If there's a 4th one, that would be interesting. This one, for instance, is basically just half of one because I used it up. It's incredibly difficult to see in this lighting, but CJ said it looks like witch hair. Which I think is a very appropriate way of describing this. I think it kind of does. On Pinterest, I have seen a few very interesting designs when it comes to the sleeve of a garment, and I want to do something like that, take some inspiration from it. I already did knit a top in mohair and it was a journey and a half. It took forever and 3,000 days. However, this time I want to follow a pattern, and that pattern is from the hobby, whatever you want to call it. Let's go. Yeah. The way I'm sitting on the floor is really hurting my back.
They had to basically stall while waiting for the place to get swapped.
It's been a few days. This is how far I've gotten. It is working up incredibly nice. This is how much I have left of the first ball. Now, it was very small to begin with. The overall color of it is kind of like this grayish purple color. On camera, it actually looks more gray than it does in person. Like, to me in person, it looks a lot more purple. There's a bit of color variation in here, but it's hard to tell, I'd say, from afar. And I've noticed that this is the yarn ball, the only one that was white, because there's a speck of white in there. Isn't that interesting? So cute. I was kind of thinking while I was working on it, because I was making kind of like a vision board of what I want to do in 2025, and I was on Pinterest just looking around and I saw a few pictures of people adding pearls. I keep saying pearls, but then I hear a lot of people say beads, but you get the gist on here, which I think is actually a cute idea. Just kind of like every now and here and there, maybe like a cluster of a few pearls together, which kind of goes a bit away from my original idea of what I wanted to do, but I think it would actually be very, very cute. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So far on the pattern, I'm not even done with the increases yet, which makes sense. It's not big yet. The pattern says to make 17 increases for the size small, and I think I am at 12. That's for the update. I'm having fun, so that's the most important thing. Good morning. You are currently sitting on my kitchen towel. It's not really morning, it's noon. It's like 12 o'clock now, and I have a lot to do today. Just 1 second. I think I added like 3 pearls so far, and that's it. Let me actually give you a bit of a rundown of what's happening. So I am finishing up with my second semester now, which means that the exams are coming up. I'm making an iced latte, by the way. We have been assigned, obviously, our last assignments that we have to submit, and my last one I have to submit tomorrow morning. Let me do this. This is the very first time I'm trying this particular coffee. It is the Coffee Roasters Rebel Blend. I don't know, this one. I go to their coffee shops a lot. I really enjoy their coffee, so I was like, I might just try it. Also, what happened in between is that I decided to film and just work on a completely different video, which is the previous video, so the Sophie Hood video. It's summer now, so there's no use on having a Sophie Hood, but it was a fun thing to do. Today, I'm not gonna get any knitting or any other projects done because I just have too much to do. I have one assignment to finish. I kind of forgot that I had to finish it. I just forgot about it. And then only yesterday I started it, and it's due tomorrow at 11 a.m. So it's not like I only have today. That's really not great. So I woke up this morning thinking that I will just get up, write my assignment, study for the other exams that are coming up. But it's already 12. Basically, what I did all day is I cleaned the kitchen because I left it a mess yesterday night, which I'm not proud of. And then I decided I actually need to eat breakfast as well. And I kept seeing on TikTok those baked oats recipes, so I decided to make one myself. It doesn't look too bad, does it? It smells nice as well. It's the very first time I'm making this, so I am very excited. So for today, I'm not gonna do any knitting whatsoever, even though that particular top is such a cute project, particularly for the warmer days like it is now. I think you can hear the birds in the back. I'm gonna actually get going now because I'm just talking for the sake of talking, and I don't actually want to start working on my stuff, but I have to. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I get it. I'll get it done. I'm gonna crank this out and then do the other things. A little check-in. It is 6:30 now, so this took me about 6.5 hours to complete. I think I have everything done with my assignment now. I think it's all there. It's all okay. I'm just gonna leave it, you know, for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, not really look at it too much, and then read over it one last time before submitting it. It's been a few days. I have nothing else to say other than I have not worked on the project at all. At this point, kind of forgot where I am in this project. I made my iced latte in a gherkin's glass as well today, and I made another oatmeal bake, this time without an egg because last time I felt like it gave it a bit of a weird consistency, so this time I just added a banana. I'm back in my spot as I was the last time because I need to do more college work. It's not bad, it's just like I'm just so over it at this point. Today I need to just study. I have 4 exams coming up, which is not the worst. Like it could definitely be worse. I'm gonna enjoy my oatmeal bake and my iced latte, and I think I'm just gonna keep my project here so that if I have in between time where I'm reading or doing something, I'm just gonna knit on this and see. It's starting to get a bit dark, so I thought I might just make a very quick update. This is where I'm at. I have separated the arms and the yoke. Now I have to basically get the length to where I want it and then start on the sleeves. It's going very well, I think. I mean, it's kind of fun to do. I have decided to not add the beads in clusters, but rather sporadically wherever I feel like they're most spread out. So I have like 2 here, another one down here. So I went back a bit, not like unraveled the whole thing. I just unraveled one stitch and then like undid that one stitch to the point where I had like a cluster of beads so I could take one out and then just crocheted it back up. And that's where we are right now. And I have to say I'm a bit confused just a tiny bit, because in the pattern it says that I should, hang on, I need to continue in stockinette stitch until the work measures 30 centimeters or desired length. Now 30 centimeters, I feel like it's not that much. So I'm already at like 29 centimeters. That doesn't feel like it's enough, to be honest. So I've been sitting on this couch all day. I have been reading The Prom Queen by R.L. Stine because the film is coming out in a few days on Netflix. I've read a few of his books before. They're good. I mean, it's the guy who also wrote all the Goosebumps. If you know, I did not know actually. It's one of those type of stories. They're kind of standalone because every book, or at least almost every book I believe, has a different set of characters. They're all kind of overlapping in a way because they're all taking place in the same place, you know, on Shadyside. But you can just pick out any book from the series and start reading it. And I'm just reading that one. It's good so far. I'm on chapter 15. I do not know who the killer is yet. I do know that Lucas is giving me the creeps, but that's it. I'm gonna go back to knitting. I think I might make myself a tea as well and just relax for the rest of the night. I'm thinking maybe tonight as well I'm gonna get the yoke done, and then tomorrow I might even get the sleeves done, because the sleeves usually I feel like they work up faster than the yoke itself. I am very much loving it. Actually, I had a thought. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. I had a thought while I was knitting this that I would love having exactly this as well, but in black. Why am I like this? I actually did find like half a skein of black mohair in my stash, which would not be enough to do all this. I just finished the book. It was fun. It was a fun read, not gonna lie. It's a quick read as well. Like I read it in a day. I'm looking forward for the film to be released. I think it's the 25th. By the time this video goes out, it's probably already out, but let me check. The 23rd. Okay. I can watch it with CJ. Also, if you're wondering, I read it on Read Any Book. I didn't know that this website existed. I might read a few more of his now. I feel like now I'm kind of in the groove. And what's interesting about his, like, this franchise is that there are reoccurring characters. So there are some people that have been mentioned in, well, one in particular. I don't know if there are many more, to be honest. But one, what's her name? Suki Waterhouse or something. Like, she's in a few other books mentioned. Maybe she's the main character in one of them. I don't know. It's interesting. It's like the amount of deaths that occur in Shadyside is kind of ridiculous. Like, there should not be any living people anymore at this point, but that's the logic of this book series. Anyway, back to the actual project. I decided to knit a bit further on because I tried it on. First of all, it's a pain to transfer all the stitches back onto the needle. So I put it on and I decided to make it a bit longer because it was really cropped. Like, I looked at it before and I was like, I don't know if that will work. I like cropped, but I don't need it to be too cropped. So I am gonna add, I wanna say up to 10 centimeters. So that's the plan for the rest of the night. I mean, it's already 12 now, so I will not be staying up too much, but I'm not necessarily super tired yet. It has actually been a few days. It's been a while. I did not finish the body that night or the next day. I finished it only yesterday. So this is where we're at now. I started knitting on the sleeve and there's clear color difference. I was trying so hard to find another ball yarn that is very similar to this type of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this kind of grayish, more lighter purpley color. And I thought I did match it very well, but I didn't. It is what it is. Maybe it's gonna add something really nice and unique about it. I don't really know. Also, I did end up watching Fear Street yesterday with CJ, and I have many thoughts. It's so not like the book at all. I don't know what I was expecting. Well, I know exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be closer to the book. I was trying so hard to enjoy it, but I just didn't. It should have been its own separate film. If I would have walked into it without expecting certain things to happen, I think I would have enjoyed it much more. There were certain elements of the film that were picked up from the book as well, but just really briefly. None of it made much sense to me, and they changed it so much. I didn't have a good time. If you want to watch the film or want to read the book, just skip this section to a timestamp I will put somewhere on the screen, because I need to rant for a second. So first of all, what the hell was that dance scene, like that dance off? Who thought about adding a weird dance off in the middle of it? It made no sense, and it made me, I had to skip through that. In general, I am not very good at watching things where I have to feel secondhand embarrassment. It's just not something that I enjoy. It's not something that I am looking forward to. If anything, it feels painful, so I just skip through it. Second of all, there are 2 killers in this film, which in the book is not the case. Third of all, why is the main character not part of the friendship group like it was in the book? Why did they have to make it like she was some outcast who only had that one friend and was trying to make it out of Shadyside? That was not the premise of the book itself. Sure, in the book, every girl that the main girl was friends with, like her friendship group of just the prom girls, were absolutely awful. I hated all of them. I think they were all incredibly mean, but it would have been interesting to translate that into a film, you know? I feel like it would have just added a lot more to the story if we didn't play on tropes that already exist and have been played on many times before, of, you know, the outcast is trying to make it out of Shadyside kind of thing. I didn't like either how they had to change the color as well. It was nice to just read a different type of story where the killer was one of the friends, you know, because in the book, the second girl that supposedly they all think was killed is actually the killer after all. You know, she's the one who was jealous because all the other girls went behind her back with her boyfriend. That's a very good storyline. I don't understand why they had to change it to make it that the parents of the other prom queen were the 2 killers. I don't know why they needed to change that. It made me angry, actually. I feel like the reason why I really enjoyed the first 3 films as well of the Fear Street series on Netflix was because I didn't actually read the books that this was based off of. Like, I read different Fear Street books that don't have any films yet, and I'm not so sure if I want them to be films. Anyway, so I'm just gonna continue knitting on this until I reached a length that I want. It's gonna probably take some time. I feel I want it to be a bit of a longer sleeve, kind of like what I'm wearing right now, because these sleeves do cover my hands a bit and I like that. That's it. I'm gonna make myself a coffee, just relax, sit on the couch with CJ and knit as much as I can. Maybe at the next update I'm done with the sleeve. Who knows? Real quick, I just cast off the sleeve. I didn't even cut the yarn yet, but I wanted to very quickly give a little bit of an update because the sun is currently setting and I'm trying to catch a bit of the still remaining sunlight. First of all, I was only able to add 1 bead every other stitch, so this is not much of any sleeve design as I kind of would have wanted to at the start, simply because I'm running out of beads. I just don't have any left, and I went back to the place where I originally bought them and they just don't have them anymore. So I could buy them online, but I don't think I am patient enough to wait for them to arrive, and at the same time I don't actually mind. The second thing is I made the sleeve as long as I wanted, like kind of just to cover like just here. Like, let me actually put it on. I'm not gonna put my head through it, but this is kind of where it would end, right? So it's not even like too long. The pattern said to make the sleeve 44 centimeters long for a size small. I don't know if maybe the pattern designer is just ridiculously small, but 44 centimeters was most definitely not enough, because if I measure from underneath my armpit, wait, where's the start? 52. Like, it's not the most groundbreaking length difference, my sleeve, than it said in the pattern. But I was just really confused. I was like, I stopped at 44 centimeters. And I was like, that does not feel, because it kind of hit right here. And I went back and I looked at the pictures of the girl wearing it, and it did actually go all the way to the wrist. So I'm thinking it might just be that she's just a lot smaller than me, or she blocked it afterwards and stretched it like a lot. My hair is looking kind of crazy because I just put it up real quick. Just an update on how it's looking. I'm nearly done with the sleeve, and there's another really clear color change right there. I finished up this ball of yarn here and finished up with the leftover yarn that I had from knitting the body part, and I realized I actually do have a whole other skein here. Both of them are already kind of used a tiny bit, which I don't know. Anyway, so coming back to like the color specifically, because you can tell here, I do like how it is going a bit darker at the very bottom. I like that gradient, but I don't know if I like the color in the sleeves. So what I was thinking actually of doing is, if I get the sleeve done today, it's already 7:30, so I don't know how much I'm gonna get done today in general, but I was debating on doing another yarn dyeing process bath thing as I did previously, because over here I have the OG mohair sweater that used to have that bow here in the middle. I think you can tell that I tried to sew it up in the middle and it looks awful. I have to redo it. But what I think I might do, I might throw it back into the bucket of dye. I'm going to either throw the whole thing in as well, or another idea that I had is laying it flat on a piece of plastic and dripping some of the dye on it to kind of make it look a bit more interesting. I hope I get it done today. If not, I'll definitely have it done tomorrow. So this is the finished summer lotus blouse. This is it. This is a candelabra. Anyway, yeah, so this is it. I actually really do love it. I ended up not dyeing it, as I said before, because after putting it on, I'm actually very much liking the difference in the colors and just in general how unique it makes it look. That being said, though, I don't think I'm going to keep it for myself. I am going to gift it away to my sister. She's coming around later today, and I'm thinking of if I want to give it to her today. There's no special occasion really, like I don't even know if she likes it. Maybe I should ask beforehand if she likes it or not, because what if she doesn't? I had actually a lot of fun knitting this, and it definitely did not have to be such a long process, but simply because I was so busy at some point earlier this month, there was nothing I could do about it. But I'm happy that it's done. I think it's very interesting that right here you can see 3 types of colors, where on the other sleeve you can only see like the color difference right there. What I do think makes it kind of all fit together though is that they're all kind of under the same umbrella. I do recommend this pattern. I think it's, first of all, it's incredibly easy to follow, and second, it makes a very versatile piece that you can adjust to the way that you like it, make it into something more personal to you. I don't think there's anything more that I wanted to say, to be honest, so that's it. I thought I might just explain a bit more what I'm doing here, even though I could also just do a voiceover, but I am making socks this time from the toe up, and usually I do it the other way around. It is extremely fiddly, but I figured I might just do it the other way around just because this way I feel like it's probably gonna be easier for me to kind of plan out how much yarn I'm gonna use for the sock, because sometimes I might just have limited amounts of yarn, and if I start from the top down, I'm not entirely sure how much I can knit. Also, I am so impressed by the seam. Like, you cannot see where I cast on. Well, maybe you can if you look really closely. At some point I'm gonna change to other colors as well. I'm gonna do it very sporadically because I want them to look kind of fun. Guys, I have something to admit. I have not worked on this sock in a very long time. I am not having fun. It looks weird. It's so strange. I don't know I don't know if I want to continue knitting the sock, to be very honest, because I'm not having a good time. Also, it's massive. If I compare it to my foot, it's kinda, yeah, it's kinda, the thing is, the tutorial I've been following, which as always I'll link below, their sock looks so nice. Why does my sock look like this? And I'm honestly so close to unraveling it completely and restarting. Also because I do know for a fact that I will have really big issues starting the second one. I think it might be worth trying a different approach and looking into knitting both of the socks at the same time. And where is the, hello? I swear to God. What's going on? Oh, I was sitting on it. I have these needles, right? So theoretically I could do that. If I find a really good tutorial on YouTube that I can follow, I will use that, and I will just cast on new ones. If I don't, then I guess that's, yeah, it's what it is. Hello. Bad lighting and bad angles. It's like 9:30 now, and I want to give you a little update on the socks. So what I've done is I've knit up the cuff with as much yarn as I used to knit up the toe in the first sock. Now the thing is, these two are for like the entire rest, so like in between the cuff and the heel, and in between the heel and the toe, and just kind of like swapped around to make it interesting. And the reason why I chose these two is because I had full skeins of this. The thing is now that I'm kind of realizing is that I'm afraid to not have enough for the entire sock. I'm obviously hoping that if I will run out of these, I'm either just gonna swap it around again and continue knitting with these two, or I'm gonna get new ones but in different colors. So I want like something completely new that I haven't yet used in here. I am following the exact same tutorial that I always do, which I will link below. And when I reached the heel, I was kind of afraid that I wouldn't really know what to do, because, you know, knitting like this is very different, but it actually kind of all makes sense, so it's okay. I've just finished the heel turn and all of the decreasings on the side here, and it's looking good so far. I think it's very cute little socks. I love the color change. However, I have kind of gotten into a bit of a question, I guess, where from this point on I was gonna knit until I can change back to one of these two colors up here, but this part here would then be a lot longer than these two parts. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna switch those colors up again. So I'm gonna knit with this now blue color, I guess, on that side, and that green is gonna come over here, just to make it a bit more interesting until I reach the toes. I have to start making a challenge of like not talking too much in my videos, in the clips I mean, because then when I edit it I just have to edit like a 20-minute video down to like 2 minutes. I'm kidding, it's not like that bad, but it's like sometimes I watch myself while I'm editing the video and I'm like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? Like, get to the fucking point. So today we're gonna just really quickly talk about the socks. The last update was right here. I've knit a bit, it's taken me ages. I just kind of at this point wanted to have it over and done with. Well, it's not like that bad, but it's like I'd appreciate it if I'd be done with this maybe in the next 2 days. It has taken a while, but at the same time I'm happy that they are looking very nice. Just give me a second, I'm actually making pancakes right now. I also added a bit of oat, like flour oat. I just put it in the blender to make it kind of like a flour consistency. The very exciting news for today is that I think I'm gonna post the Sophie hood video today. That's exciting because I haven't posted in a long time, and I feel a bit stressed about it because it's not a very long video, so the entire editing took me just 1 day, but I want to just have a look over today and see how it's looking, if I'm happy with it, and then I have to create a thumbnail, make sure that I have music tracks that are not copyrighted. You know what I mean? Because the last video I used an audio, a music track that got me copyright striked. It's my second copyright strike. I wasn't aware that that one audio was a copyright audio, so that's great. Go check it out if you haven't yet. Don't feel pressure to watch it though. It's just a silly little video of me knitting the Sophie hood twice, actually. One time with a bit of a variation. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to, while I'm gonna proof watch it for the last time, knit on these socks and eat my pancakes. And I'll see you at the next update. The pancakes in question, they look okay. I have finally finished the socks. They took me a lot longer than I anticipated because I restarted it. Let me just put them on. So these, why am I doing it like this? Hang on. This is how they look on me. I think they're cute. I'm gonna ask CJ to wear them for me, and I'm gonna make a proper video about it. Wow. That's so cute. I love that. I don't think that knitting socks on circular needles, one after the other, is now an option that I will ever consider. It's just so satisfying to finish a project without having to do the entire thing again. Even though it felt long in the grand scheme of things, I think it's obviously long because you're doing 2 at the time. The thing is though, after yesterday night when I finished them, after weaving all the ends and everything, I still had some yarn left over. Not much, but like single ones like this. So I decided to try and crochet with it, simply because I haven't crocheted with this yarn at all. And I decided to make a little baby blanket for our stuffed animals. It's just a cute little idea, all right? And I'm actually really enjoying this process of crocheting with it because it's so incredibly soft, and I just haven't seen how it works up in a crochet form. And also I was thinking, if the blanket isn't like big enough, I will add a bit of maybe like a purple border. The baby blanket pattern is from Hobby once again, so I think that's what I'm gonna do, just to use up all of the yarn, because like I don't want to keep holding on to yarn if I know I can finish it up. Actually, I have a question for crochet experts or people who crochet a lot on counting stitches. Let me show you, just 1 second. So this is where we're at so far, and the next step here would be to crochet into the 4th stitch from this round. So when I start counting, what I do is I count, there's 1 here, then 2, 3, and 4. So this one here would be the 4th stitch for me. Is that correct? I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever right now, but like my dilemma is just that sometimes I'm not sure if the loop where the hook is still in when finishing a stitch is the loop that the stitch belongs to, or is it like the loop before that? If you understood what I'm talking about, honestly, props to you, because I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. I got changed and had a snack, and this is how far I am. It's a bit small, I think, so I decided to go and have a look at what other yarn I have, and I found this, which is Splash Double Knit, and I think the colors would match very well. But tell me why. I'm trying to find where to pull at. Why do I have 3 ends? I think I'm gonna start using this one, because this one I can actually unravel. The other ones are just tangled. I don't know where to put them for now, and they're probably gonna keep getting tangled while I'm using it. But this is unfortunately not as soft as the other ones, but that's okay. It's kind of more for the color and for the width of this. I'm surprised that I am enjoying this so much. Tell me why. I guess I'm gonna use one of the other ends, but what the hell? And it's the most boring color as well. It's just white, which I don't know how I feel about it. It's gonna get blue at some point, like eventually. I'm thinking I might just cut off some of the white just because I want the color change to happen earlier than that. Wait, hang on. Let me do the thing that I always see everybody doing. Did it work? So this turned out, as you can see, a lot bigger than I planned. This is the very first blanket I've ever crocheted. It's not really even a blanket. Even for a baby blanket, this is kind of small, you know? And I have to say, the last rounds took me forever. I don't know how any of you do it, crocheting those massive blankets, because unfortunately I didn't check the time to see how long it actually took me to finish up the last round, but it was forever. The yarn that I used for the rest of the blanket was all kind of different ones that I found. Some of it is acrylic, but I think it was a good idea to make it bigger. I think it's very cute. I might even make it bigger at some point, but I decided to stop at this point for no other reason but that I was getting to the end of it mentally. I decided this is gonna be where I'm stopping, and that's it. As unexpected as it was to crochet this much, I think it was definitely worth it. Hello, this time from my floor. We are, for this project, revisiting a project we've already done, which is the Summer Lotus blouse. I know I've already talked about it. I did mention while I was knitting the Lotus blouse for the first time that I was kind of unsure about the color. I don't know, like, okay, you can say what you want, but I have here with me my one and only ball of black mohair, so I will have to buy more to finish up the project that I'm very aware of, and I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. So we're basically doing the same thing that we did before. However, I want to do it a tiny bit differently. I do want to adjust it a tiny bit. I do want to, first of all, not add any beads to it. I want to make it a bit more plain, versatile, so I can pair with any outfit that I might be wearing. I also want to make it a bit longer, as the first one I made is a bit cropped, and which is cute, but it's not what I want for this one. It just so happened that yesterday was the first time I ever updated on this. I just kind of kept forgetting, to be honest, and it was going faster than I expected. And then at some point yesterday, I finished the body, but I was kind of like on a bit of a trip. I just didn't film any of it, which is kind of stupid because, like, why did I not? Good question. But also at the same time, I was kind of thinking, well, I've already done this once before, so there's not much that I need to kind of like update on, because it's the same thing, other than I am using the smaller version of the pattern, which also makes it even faster at the same time. And I am not adding any beads, which again, I don't have to stop anywhere, add a bead and then continue knitting. I'm just knitting all the way through. So this is the first sleeve that I am kind of, I'm not done yet. I think this is just past the elbow. I think also I have to go back again for the I-cord and do this again in a smaller needle size, just because whenever in the first one I did it in the bigger needle size, it didn't look as neat, so I might do that and go back and do that. The first one I actually already gave to my sister, so I don't even have it here anymore. And I think I might have to take it back because I forgot to weave in some ends. But yeah, that's it. I don't think I'm gonna get it done today, to be very honest. Like, I'm not that fast at knitting, and this is just kind of an exception because it's a faster project to knit up. Just before we continue, I did dye my hair. I feel like there is not much of a difference. I basically put black box dye over my head. I kept the red though because I like the red. Well, it's very dark red here. I think that looks cute. On to the actual project at hand. It worked out so nice, so quick as well. I finished it within 3 days, which is surprising to me because usually I take a bit longer in knitting things. I'm not the fastest knitter or crocheter in the world by any means. I cast on for a size small simply because I wanted to avoid having issues pulling it over my head, and I do have a big head and I wanted to avoid any issues there. I think I would have been fine, to be honest, casting on for a size extra small, but this I cast on 70 stitches as I mentioned for a size small. I did, however, only continue increasing as if I was knitting for a size extra small. And additionally, around here where I was separating the sleeves and continued on with the body, it said in the pattern as well to cast on an additional 4 stitches on each side, which I did not do, simply because I wanted it to be a bit smaller, and it still kind of has this oversized feeling to it, which I enjoy without being comical. So I'm happy with that. I would have made it just a bit longer, to be fair. I also mentioned that I didn't want it to have it make it a bit longer, but I ran out of yarn. That's the only reason why I didn't. And also, I wish I would have made the sleeves also a tiny bit longer, as they do hit kind of here if I stretch it, but they kind of wander. That being said, now that we have walked through that. I'm gonna leave the video here. We have already worked on 4 different projects. Granted, only 2 were planned, but I think 4 projects is definitely enough for a video. I'm okay with it. I think we're fine. I mean, at the very start of my series, on the very first video, I mentioned that the plan was to finish 3 projects for each video to kind of like make a good dent in my yarn stash, but at this point I want to change it up a bit and instead work on 1 project per video. If it happens to be 2, all right, I guess, but I want to keep it at a maximum of 2 projects per video. I was also thinking it would be kind of cute to add a bit more of kind of like my social life to it, because I really do enjoy just mentioning other things that I'm doing as well. The reason for this as well, why I'm mentioning this, is because for now I do have quite some time as I'm on summer break to work on projects. However, as soon as September starts, well, second week of September, I'll be back in college, so I will not have much time. And I was thinking that during the time that I'm in college, I might also show some of my process of being in college, you know, working on my things and doing some studying, doing some working on my assignments and stuff, just bringing you along. Maybe, why not? Like, I have this idea, but I'm not gonna promise anything. I had also the idea of using my Instagram again, but honestly, I don't know. Every time I open Instagram, I'm overwhelmed with a wave of anxiety, so I might just not do that. Ugh, it makes me feel so uneasy being on that app. So that is still in the air, but for the next coming videos, I'm gonna keep it to 1 project per video. That is the idea, just so you know what's happening. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was interesting. I hope to see you in the next video. No pressure though. I feel like I'm definitely not the type of person to ask for like and subscribe, because I can't. No, do what you want, please. Do what you want. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, have a nice rest of the week, rest of the month. That's all from me. Okay, bye.